Welcome, everybody. We are podcasting today with Dawn Stebbing. Thank you for being here. I'm psyched to find out more about you. I was looking up your stuff. I was very impressed. I don't even know where to start. There's so many really cool things that you do, especially the leadership aspect, for women and stuff like that. So important to have those amazing role models and people that have already done what you wanted to do and all that. One of the things is, I heard you talk about like visibility, right? As far as business and that kind of stuff. Can you go into that a little? And
Yes. Well, I am more about the whole woman, not just parts of the women. And my career started 15 years ago. Okay. Actually, I have a huge background, over 3 decades of working with women on the outside. But also, I just found out through my process that it's not just about how we show up on the outside. There's more to a woman than just putting clothes on their body. It's really about who they are inside. Mm-hmm. And how do you show up and become more visible? Yes, the outside is a huge piece of it because that's our first impression we see of somebody. Mm-hmm. And that first impressions, it only takes 3 to 7 seconds to make a good first impression. And right away you can tell if people are relating to you. And when that impression isn't there, mm-hmm. then you have to work a little harder to become visible. Yeah. And your words that come out of your mouth. So mm-hmm. they see you way before you even speak.
Right.
But in the long run, it's about how your presence, your voice, and your energy match what shows up on the outside. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say I work with the whole woman, not just part of it. Can I do pieces? Yes. Is that going to work? Sure. But is it going to make you feel like a whole person and that everything aligns when you walk out the door? Probably not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that you addressed the whole, because you're right. It's only piecemeal, Band-Aid, whatever you want to, call it or term it, if you're not doing the holistic approach.
Correct.
That's so. What got you to be that passionate about it? That's what you wanted to do. Did you have, I don't know, an experience that you were like, gosh, I wish I had somebody to, I don't know, what was like the.
Yeah, I know that's so funny you asked, and nobody's asked me that before, but I mean, really like the core of really where it started. But I'm a former hairstylist, which I knew that wasn't going to be my career the rest of my life because I was already feeling the aches and pains in my arms and hands and stuff, and I needed to evolve. And I got into skincare and makeup, and I just loved that. I loved, like I said, I was doing piecemeal, like hair and now makeup and skincare. And then I got into image consulting, which led to the clothes. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm hearing things all the time. I'm a very good listener. That's one of my strengths. Mm-hmm. And when I hear women going, I don't know if I can wear that, or that the confidence isn't there, and they're not showing up as a full person, then I knew there was something missing. Mm-hmm. And when that missing piece hit me, I go, there's more to a woman than just throwing clothes on a body. Mm-hmm. And if you're not visible, nobody can see you.
Right.
If you're not using your voice, if you're not being heard, your value isn't there. Mm-hmm. You're being undervalued. Yeah. And overlooked. And you could be in the professional world, or you can be starting your business and as an entrepreneur. Either way, if you're not valued, you're going to be overlooked, and you're not going to make money.
Right.
And it comes down to that bottom line is making money. How do you want to show up? How do you want to be perceived? For the very first time somebody meets you and say, hey, I want to know more about you. And I hear this every day. In fact, I just heard it 2 days ago. I was at an event, and I always think about how I want to show up and be perceived when I walk into a room. I always want to walk in with confidence, and that's what I teach my clients. However, this woman was standing there, and somebody introduced her to me, and she says, well, try to guess of what she does for a living as they're looking at me. And the woman said, I'm going to say she does something in fashion or something like that. And the woman said back to me, she goes, you look amazing. She says, I just got to the point where I just don't care anymore. And I hear that all the time. Like, I just don't care anymore. And where does that come from?
Yeah.
And it comes from the core of, I think we've either gotten to the point where we used to be told how to dress when we went to work. You have to look a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain way, dress a certain way, all of this. And when you think about it, women are tired of that, where we just want to be who we are. But they're also missing that one little step is you can be who you are authentically, but stop using those words, I don't care. Because if you didn't care, you wouldn't say those words.
Yeah.
Those words are very huge in your vocabulary. If you don't care and you say that every day, that's also showing up in your work.
Yes.
It's also showing up everywhere you go, your personal life and your professional life.
Yeah, and that can just lead to nothing good.
Correct.
And like you're talking about with the visibility, I mean, you've heard visibility leads to credibility, leads to profitability, I'm sure before a million times.
Yes.
And then, the I don't care thing, maybe it's that's just such a huge negative that we're bringing on ourselves, right? Because if we don't care about appearance, we don't care about whatever, it bleeds into everything else, like you said.
Right.
And especially as like a parent or a leader or whatever, you're not going to get the most out of yourself, your family, your business, having that kind of like mindset or lens you're viewing yourself through.
Exactly.
So as far as helping women to kind of overcome that sort of, mentality, what have you found that works best to either lead them to correct it, or something that you've been able to show them or talk to them that kind of helps that light turn on?
There's a process, and I'm just going to share a story with you. And this story just is so profound to me. And I've worked with this woman. First of all, I heard her on the phone, and she's very soft-spoken on the phone. Then she comes to my front door. And when she came to my front door, she blended in from head to toe with the woodwork in my house. So it's almost like you blend in with the wallpaper.
Yeah.
She blended in with the woodwork. So we had a conversation. We sat down. We're having a conversation as we're working together. And out of the blue, she said, I used to sing. And I literally took a step back, and I go, what do you mean you used to sing? And she goes, I used to sing. And I said, well, what used to? Why did you stop? And she goes, well, my ex-husband told me to shut up one time and never wanted to hear my voice again. And I thought that just killed me so much in my heart. And it just was like so profound. I thought, oh my gosh, she's looking for permission to speak again, to use her voice again. And at the moment, I wasn't putting the two together, except for I'm going, And I said, I'm going to give you permission to sing. Do you want to sing for me right now? And she goes, no, I don't want to be put on the spot. And I said, okay, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. When you leave here, I want you to put that radio on in your car, and I want you to start singing. I want you to sing in your shower. I want you to sing in your garden. I want you to just bellow it out and sing and be proud of it. And put your ex-husband in the back seat and maybe in the back trunk. You can do that too. And just say goodbye to that and just own it. The next time I saw her was on a Zoom call. And literally from the time I started working with her and we went shopping, we did all these things with her, she beamed from ear to ear, and she was just smiling. She was happy. She no longer blended in with the woodwork. She was wearing things that represented who she was. She stood up to the plate. She owned it. And that's what I mean about owning it too, because if you don't own who you are, you're never going to be confident into what you do.
Right.
And now I followed her, looked her up one day, and she's actually the CEO of the company in another area.
That's so cool.
And I thought, oh my gosh. I give myself credit for that, because she couldn't have done that if she didn't have the training that I have done with her.
Yeah, she needed that little tweak.
Yes.
Or a lot, or
Right.
That's so cool that you have that gift to be able to truly see somebody.
Yes.
Right? That's
Yeah,
that's
I love
amazing.
it. I love it. And I get to
great.
hear lots of deep inner things from women that they don't usually bring out. Until you get close to them, they trust you. And it is a trust factor. And that's what I want them to have, is to have the trust and the respect that they deserve when they go out and they start earning their money and their living and in their careers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That helps literally everybody.
Yes.
You know, that's amazing. Well, I appreciate you being here today and sharing. And
Thank you so much.
this was great. And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.